What up? What up? What's sibbity? What's happening? Welcome to another edition of the wrap up, aka kicking it with the cousins. Tony on the mic, and as always, I'm joined by my mailman, your mailman, your mama's mailman, the people's mailman. I'm talking about Oz. Oz, what's going on, baby?
What's up, cousin Tony, the architect? Another Thursday night live. This is how I love it, baby. Getting back with all our peoples out there. We're gonna have a fun night, bro. It's gonna be awesome, action packed. We got some great topics, and we got some special guests coming on who you'll see soon enough.
Perfect, man. As always, the link to the call in is up it's pinned at the top of the chat. So by all means, feel free to jump in. And as always, just make sure you got clothes on. And I'm hoping
Bro,
Steve Splendus joins us tonight because I want to talk about games you just finished. But go ahead.
I want to see him without his shirt. Screw that. Come in naked. Come, coming in hot, baby. That's
There
how we
you
want
go.
it.
There you go. No, but yeah. So again, once again, like I said, the link is at the top of the chat. So feel free to click on that and jump in, man. We always say that this is just a little bit of a hangout, man. We like to keep it loose, let the
Yeah.
personality flow a little
Yeah,
bit,
this
basically.
is the official hobby hangout for everybody. So you
Yeah,
just want to come in, chill. You can comment. We're gonna shout you out. We love all our peoples out there that show us love, show us support. And if you want to come on board, just like I said, it's a click away, and the cousins will get you on.
yeah, for sure, brother. So let's recap real quick. Our guest this week, we have Victor, the rookie card specialist, and that was definitely a learning lesson for us. We like to one thing I say, like, you've said it from the gate, like, we're learning as we go along. And sometimes these guests that we bring on, they might not have a million followers. They might not be on Instagram all the time and we're throwing cards around. Bro, it's the hobby's a lot. It's more than just what you see on IG and Twitter and stuff like that. There's a lot of people who do not have any social media presence that will run circles around dudes with 30,000, 50,000, 60,000 followers. And Victor's one of those cats. I mean, my man, he's very passionate about the whole rookie card thing, to the point where he's writing. I mean, how many people are writing a players association? He's looking to write a book on all this stuff. So, I mean, a big tip of the hat for him joining us and the work that he's putting in and the education he gave us.
Yeah, you know, to be able to do that, like you said, the amount of passion that he has for, and specifically for the rookie card. He's collected his whole life, and he took a little hiatus, a little break of 10 years, and when he came back, he realized things were a lot different than the way they used to be, and he really dug in and said, okay, let me see why everything has changed when it came to the rookie card, and I'm just going to do a deep dive, a deep dive into it, and figure out exactly how it changed, why it changed, and basically just get that knowledge out to people so that we don't forget. Sometimes you forget the past, you're doomed to repeat the
Yeah.
mistakes in the future. And he's just one of those guys that took it upon himself, which, again, like you said, tip of the hat, kudos to Victor for going ahead and doing that. Because nowadays, bro, you just come in, and if you got enough money, you're just out here flossing
Yeah.
and buying all the top cards, the flawless cards with the chunky patches and the low serial numbers, and everybody thinks that's the ish, or the national treasures. That's the one out of 99 on card auto. Don't You can't tell me nothing. And meanwhile, there's a whole generation of people out there that have collected, quote unquote, the purest way, and everybody can collect that any way they want, but just don't forget it, because sometimes if you get caught up in the moment with the boom and everything the way it happened, there's a lot of people out there with a lot of big voices on YouTube, on Instagram, and if you're listening to the wrong voice, you can get caught up in some hype and some FOMO and end up buying something that you think is the correct, quote unquote, rookie card,
Mhm.
and come to find out, 6 months later, you paid $5,000 for something that's now worth 500.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, he's on this whole crusade. Like I said, I mean, the cat might be out of the bag, it might be too late, but hey, you never know, man. It just if he can get the right to get to the right people, maybe some things could change. I mean, I know the one thing that he talked about, which actually Kevin Cormier hit me up in the DM and was like, yo, he talked about the rookie card parallels,
Hmm.
about those not should not be considered as rookie cards. And I wanted to ask you, like, so do you think, like, Obviously the cat's out the bag. We got parallels upon parallels upon parallels. So like the one thing with the hobby that I've noticed in a little bit of time is that when something goes like way to the one side, then sometimes it usually comes back. But dude, something like that, you ever think we're gonna get away from it? I don't see I don't see the companies doing that. There's no reason for them to do that. But do you think they kind of get reel it back in a little bit, maybe?
It's tough. I'm hoping that with Fanatics coming on board and trying to revamp, God only knows, they're talking about shifts that they're going to be creating in the hobby in these next upcoming months and years. But I would love to see, more conformity when it comes to that. It's gotten outrageous. There's so many different sets, so many different parallels,
Mhm.
so many 101s, and it really just waters down everything that's out there. Um, so you think about it, back in the day, everybody were set collectors.
Right,
If you tried to do that today, like, that's an impossible task.
right.
Nobody's gonna sit down there and try to collect all the flawless cards out. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's just
yeah, yeah,
it's not gonna happen, or
yeah,
or something like that. You may be able to collect a certain player,
for
or
sure.
a certain team, but to go ahead and collect a particular set other than tops, you know,
Yeah, yeah,
it's a futile task. So,
yeah. I hear you. So, we got our first caller of the night, special guest. Let me bring him in real quick because he probably have some opinions on this. The one, the only, Mr. Sports Card Therapist,
oh
Rob
boy,
Gerard, in the building.
bright and
Rob,
early, baby. What's
what's
up?
going on, brother?
What is going on, cousins? Mi primos, ¿qué pasa, man?
Damn, bro. This got
Yeah,
really
todo
sexy real
bien.
quick.
Todo bien, todo bien. Everything is all good.
Yeah.
Real quick before we get to Rob. So we got James Lumen talking about when we were first talking about the Victor education is key. Cardboard trap house is here. Let's go. Big John, what's going on? And so yeah, Rob, man, what's going on in the life of the therapist this tonight?
No, not much, man. I mean, I'm enjoying the conversations that you guys are having with all the insane amount of parallels and different chase, quote unquote, chase cards that are out there because I recently had this conversation on my podcast. No, actually, it's it's coming up on one of my upcoming podcasts. Actually, I just recorded it, talking about the junk slab era, and are we in the junk slab era? And it feels like there's a good chance, that we are.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Like it's like it just goes right back to what I said. Because if we don't remember where we came from, we're bound to repeat that. And by the way, before I forget, so Monday's episode, our guest has an amazing Mickey Mantle rookie, and we actually mentioned you in the pod. So definitely got to get you the clip of the card. This dude is it's
51 Bowman.
yes sir, yes sir. It's sick.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
is
it's sick.
super sick.
Super sick.
Wow,
Super sick. Yeah, and
that's beautiful.
yeah, and like I said, when I saw it, I thought of you right away. I was like, I said, there's a certain therapist I would love to get his hands on that card. 'Cause that thing is a banger. But go ahead, Oz. You were parallels.
Yeah, so yeah, when it comes to that, obviously the parallels have just become ridiculous. But Rob, now that you're on, man, I really honestly wanted to talk about the awesome conversation that Ken actually had on his recent podcast, which was the difference between walking at a show and setting up as a dealer. You know what I mean? And
Is that the one that just dropped
the
today?
one that just dropped, yeah.
Yeah, that was a good episode.
Yeah, so it was fascinating to me, just the dichotomy of, so you guys are kind of used to, being in the Connecticut area and hitting up the shows and getting dealer passes or setting up for the most time and being behind a table and getting people coming up to you and you're getting those sweetheart deals. And then, you come down to the Philly show and it's a little bit different walking around. Talk about that, the differences and how you feel it's probably more beneficial for you to be a dealer as opposed to walking the streets.
Yeah, and I definitely don't want to say that you get sweetheart deals. I mean, there's
Well,
there's
you do.
definitely there's give and
He's a
take. I mean,
sweetheart.
because yeah, because Ken made a really good point today on his podcast. He said, you know, just as many people walk up to our table and they feel strongly about their cards. They have every
Yeah.
reason to, and they walk up with their Zion box and are like, "Hey, you buying?" And we're like, "Yeah, we're buying." And they want to sell their cards to us at 100%, but then offer us 80% on our cards. And it's like, yo, like we bought a table here. We're trying to make money to make our money back just for the day to break even here. You know what I mean? So, and you're really limited to the cards that walk up to your table. So I mean, it's like it's good and bad, but I tell you, I mean, Ken has a way of wording things in a way that I'm just like, yes, I feel that way too. Like, and I know I've thought these thoughts, I've just never worded it like that. He's like, by setting up, it allows you, at any given point just to step back behind the table and find a place of refuge at a busy show. You know what I mean? And it's almost like your spot, like your comfort zone. So, um, but yeah, I mean, Philly was an incredible show. And I think that if I was in the mood to overpay for everything, I would have had a great day, but I just wasn't, and dealers have in Oz, I think you even mentioned in the Wolfpack chat, you were like, like Rob, shout out to you for still giving props to the Philly promoter, because it's not the promoter's fault that it seemed like everyone was high on their cards. Like
Yeah.
they pulled out all the stops and
Mhm.
and definitely had an incredible show there. I mean, the place was absolutely mobbed,
Yeah.
right?
It was crazy.
Um, yeah, it was phenomenal. But it does make me wonder, like if we go to a show and everyone's high on their cards, dealers are just always high on their cards. Like if that continues to be a trend, eventually that's going to kill a lot of these shows that have grown over the last 3 years.
Yeah, that's like the zero end game with always paying under comps too. That's another thing that's the one that drives me up a wall sometimes. I'm like, all right, if everybody's trying to pay less and less and less and less than the next guy,
Where does it stop?
yeah, where does it stop?
Hmm.
So
It's such a
that
fine line. It's such a
yeah.
fine line. Like, when is it too high and when is it too low? And you got
Yeah.
to kind of walk that tightrope when it comes to being a dealer. And honestly, if you want to be successful and make money, I really think it all depends on how willing of a seller you want to be at that time. If you need the money, you can go out there. Like the one dude said, man, that was his best show that he's had in a long time at the Philly show.
Mhm.
That our boy Sal said, his
Yeah,
one boy made a ton of money. Obviously, he was ready to wheel and deal. He might have had his
sure.
price points at where they needed to be to get those sales done. And then there was other guys that were trying to maybe, they were into those cars for a little bit more than most. And they probably got a lot of those cars in the pandemic time, and we're trying to see if they could at least break even or get close to what they had paid for them. So it really depends on what you're trying to do as a dealer.
Yeah. So Big John asked in the chat, Rob, I'll throw it to you first. What's your thought on dealers having their cards priced or not priced on the table?
I tell you what, Big John, what's going on, man? He so for the last 2 years, I've always had my cards priced, always priced. And the feedback I always got was that people appreciated that a lot more. People really appreciated that a lot more. But what happens is someone walks by your table and they just look at the cards and they won't say a word to you. So at least not having your cards priced does open up the conversation. Like, no, I'm not a mind reader. If Oz walks up
Right.
to my table, and just looks down and is looking at all the prices and walks away, I'm like, I have no idea if he was interested in anything.
Yeah.
And if he was, he didn't even ask if I'm motivated. I might be motivated. So I am slowly starting to turn the corner to be in the camp of not having my cards priced just because it opens up conversation. I
Okay.
don't know.
That's interesting.
Oz, go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'm all about having everything priced. I don't know. It's that's tough, man. When I walk up to a table, I if I don't see prices on it, I just automatically feel like these dealers, not that they're trying to get over on me, but it's just
Yeah.
I just automatically assume high. The prices are too high for them to put on there. Like they're hiding something. I
Mhm.
just that's the feeling I get. Maybe that's just me not trusting anybody. But
Yeah.
if I go to a table then that I could see and I can, oh, okay, I see that one. And like you always said, like um, actually, I think I got this from our boys in Sports Card Nonsense, Mike Giuseppe. He said if he walked up to a table and he knows a comp on a card, let's just say it's a LeBron rookie card, and he looks at the price on that card, and if it's similar to what the comps are, he knows that's a good person to buy from. If he goes to that and he sees it's 2-3 times what the comps are, he just keeps it moving.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fair enough.
Yeah. So basically, I think what you're saying is if you are going to price your cards, you better be around comps.
Yeah,
That's fair. Yeah, my thing is like that. So I feel like Steve, what's going on, brother?
Steve
I
Splenda
feel
in the house.
yeah, Steve Splin in the house, man. I feel like my time at the show is very limited. So like I already drove whatever. I got to get there. I don't have time to be looking at like I mean, do I have some comps in my head of the cars I'm looking for? Yeah, but there are others, like you said, you never know what you're gonna see in a case. And if it's not price, I'm with Oz. I always assume high because I'm like, man, if you don't even want to bother pricing his car, then what the heck is going on there? And I don't know. Maybe the maybe there's a kind of a compromise where you put some with a price, put some without a price, something like that, and maybe that kind of is a nice 50-50 way to go about it. But when I know the last Philly show, all the guys who didn't have cards priced, I didn't ask for a single price of a card. I mean, it's really got to be something
Wow.
that I'm interested in. Yeah, I just keep it moving, Rob. Like I don't know what it is. It just like it like turns me off, to be honest. I'm like, damn,
And
dude. Like,
most dealers, I don't think price cards, right?
I don't
it
know.
depends
I
on the
think
show. I mean, most of the
yeah.
shows I go to, I see a lot of pricing.
Do you?
Yeah, and the thing is with the Philly show, for example, that's a high vintage type show, so like almost 60-40, maybe even 70-30 when it comes to modern. So everybody has the same stuff, So if I'm in there and I know I'm looking for vintage, I'm gonna go to right away to the ones that are priced because pretty much everybody has the same stuff. Now, if you're going through and you're looking for something specific and you can't find it, and then you come across one dealer that has it and it's not priced, obviously you're not going to like, it's not priced. I'm not going to ask them, if it's a specific thing. But if everybody has a Mickey Mantle rookie or a Roberto Clemente and that's what you're looking for, I'm more apt to go by the guy that has the price and try to work with him before going up to somebody and that doesn't have the price.
Yeah. So two quick points here, two good comments in the chat. First one, Steve Splenda. Steve, good to see you, man. I know Sparty took a hurt piece tonight, but they played pretty well there. He said, I used to be pro price tags, but at this point, there's no point. Dealers mark up, comps come out, and the tags are pointless. Brendan Ryan says, he goes, yeah, I guess he agrees with me. He's like, true, I've walked away from tables with no price stickers. You can always negotiate, but that initial sticker at least gives you an idea or a starting point.
Yeah.
That's my thing. It's like if there's nothing there, I'm like, all right, great. Now I gotta go look it up. I'm like, great. I pay to get in here, and I gotta go look to get it up. Okay. Here's the comp, and then you're gonna tell me to give me some story of why yours is gonna be, $2,000 over the last comp, and so we gotta do that song and dance as opposed to the sticker. So I don't know. What do you guys think about those two points there, Rob? Go ahead.
Yeah, Brendan makes a great point. And Steve does too, right? I know a lot of dealers, I don't know if this is an excuse that they use or what, but they're like, listen, comps are changing every day. I'm not going to reprice every single card
Mhm.
every show. So I'm just going to, do this, that, and the third. And what I've realized is what I've started doing probably like the last 6 months or so is half the cards in my case are priced and then the other half are not. And I think I don't know why that's not really by design. That just kind of like organically happened.
Mhm.
Um, but I, I'm I think I'm just not like your typical dealer though, so I might not be the person to really
Yeah.
ask about that. I enjoy setting up because it's more about the experience and being able to talk with people more than it is making money. Now, don't get me wrong, I have gone to shows before. I've gone to plenty of shows, not plenty, but I could think of a few where I've gone and it's like, okay, I know I need to make 3 grand today. I've gone to shows where I've already committed to buying or won an auction. It's sitting in my eBay cart
Yeah,
and knowing I have a show, you
yeah,
know what I mean? And I'm like,
yeah.
okay, like I'm gonna be at or under comps on everything. And
Mhm.
that's why for me, it it if I'm gonna go to a show, I'm gonna go up to tables. I'm gonna ask every single table. And like you guys mentioned, I think I mean, if you ask about one card and one card is way over comps, that's all I need to know. I'm just going to walk
Yeah,
away
yeah,
because that tells me you're going to be way over comps. But if I ask about a card and you're right on the money at comps, something tells me like, okay, I could probably get something done here. So you really never know what dealers are motivated and which dealers are not. And I
that's
could
true.
tell you there's probably at least a good, I would say, third of the dealers at every single show that are going there with a figure in their mind that are card rich and money poor, and they're like, I need money today.
Right.
So it is important and I think valuable to really go up there and try to wheel and deal and talk to every single dealer that you can. A big show like Philly, it's almost impossible to talk to every single dealer because there's so many tables and the place was mobbed. But if you go to a local show where there's between 30 and 60 tables, you definitely can do that.
Yeah. And I will say, like, I mean, I've seen you in action and you actually engage. So if you don't have price tags on your stuff and you don't even have a personality, that's a lose lose. At least you'd be like, hey, how you doing? What's going on? Hey, listen, if I don't have a price on here, let's talk. So that's another way to go
Yeah,
about it if
the
you're not
best
gonna
is
price your
no
card.
price tag, and then the guy's on his phone behind
Yes.
his
Yes.
case, not even
Yeah.
looking at you.
Yeah. 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 All right. So
Do
the
we have
second,
another
yeah,
guy?
our second guy is coming on, and this is a bit of a some kind of thing you had worked out. And I see the camera looks to be, I guess he's ready.
He's ready.
Yeah, it looks like he's ready. We're gonna
Rob, you're
assume
gonna
he's
get a kick
ready.
out of this.
Okay.
So let's um let's bring him in here, and Oz. I'll let you have the floor. Go ahead.
Let's
Sir.
go.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the live at this moment, Mr. James Luman. Oh boy, he's doing the Ray
Oh,
Lewis.
he's doing the Ray
No
Lewis.
scream, my old lady kill me.
So James, welcome in, brother.
What's up, boys?
Nice to talk to you live here and direct. Before we get to James, Brendan Ryan says the sports card therapist does have psychology as an advantage when he's doing his deals. So
Oh yeah, that is
props
true.
to Rob on that. But James, brother, man, thanks for joining us. I know you had been talking to Oz
Yes.
earlier today. So Oz, I'll let you guys talk about
Yeah.
what you had coming.
Listen, first I wanted to bring on James because this dude has been winning every contest out there imaginable when it comes to like anybody that's reckless cards. I believe you won something there. Dr.
Yeah.
Collectible, I think you won something
Yeah.
there. I think
Same
you're
day,
trying to
man.
win that bounty, that the $500 to get all the signatures.
Yeah,
Like this
Rob,
dude.
it'll be getting mailed to you soon, dude. So
Let's go. Let's go.
So talk about that, man. You know bro, this, if you were to look up participation is required in the dictionary, you would have James Luman right there, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely. James, man, it's great seeing you on. Nice surprise too, man. Nice surprise.
yeah,
So
dude. I seen you come on. I was like, let's go. I already knew it. Me and Oz were BSing today in the DM. So
yeah, that's great, man. So I had James on my show probably about 2 or 3 months ago. He came on one of the roundtables, and then James and I actually had about an hour long phone conversation a couple weeks ago.
Nice.
We were just kind of just chopping it up and building on the phone, man. And he's talking about maybe potentially wanting to jump in the content creator world and just kind of wanted to pick my brain a little bit, man. And I was just trying to give him all the jewels that I have that I can. So Jimmy
yeah,
Lou,
bring
it's
some
nice to
jammies in
see you,
there.
man.
That's awesome. So
So
how'd you
talk-
win all the contests? You hack
Yeah.
IG or what?
Oh my, yeah, that was wild, dude. I didn't even know Courtney posted the video, and then like 20 minutes later, I'm strolling around. I just open up my phone out of nowhere. Reckless Cards posts you win this, and I was like, "What?" It's the basketball magazine that the real card guy does. So that was
Yes.
wild. And then like a few hours later, I'm getting my kid out of the tub, and Dr. Collectibles hits me up in the DM. He's like, "Yo, bro, you won this?" I was like, "What?" Messed up.
Wow.
I didn't play my numbers that weekend, so
I was about
Yeah,
to say you play your numbers.
yeah.
Wow. Good for you,
That's
man.
awesome. Listen, James, what I appreciate about you, man, like you'll hit me up first thing in the morning. Your eyes, man. I hope you have a great day. I know you're out there delivering mail. Make sure you're safe. You know, if you want to talk, I'm here. And then we'll just be chatting it up the rest of the day. I'm hitting you up, you're hitting me up. And I was like, dude, you got to come on, dog. For real, for real. He goes, yo, when you say my name, James Lube, and he goes, I feel like I'm walking out of a tunnel like an NFL player. I said, well, next time we're gonna bring you on, and I want you to do that, bro. I need you to come out and do your little Ray dance.
The Ray Lewis,
Yeah.
man.
That's exactly what it was, man. That's exactly what it said in the DM. So I had to come and do it.
I thought you were having a seizure for a minute. I was confused. It didn't look like no Ray Lewis.
Hey, hey, Rob. Hey,
It
hey.
might just be the camera angle, though.
So James actually has he might have the inside track because according to Courtney from Reckless Cards, she said she wasn't going to sign many of those, if at all. So she might
Really,
be,
she's trying to tilt the scales a little
yeah,
bit. I'm
yeah.
out
I
of the
mean,
loop here. I didn't even know that.
yeah, you have to check her out. So I mean, I don't know if that's a little bit of gamesmanship or what, but yeah, she's like, listen. Well, she said something to the effect that no, she just feels like, who am I to be signing any autographs? I'm like, nah, man, you're Mrs. Reckless. You're definitely somebody. So I don't know. James might have the inside track, and we'll talk about. I mean, where most people will be at. So if you're bounty hunting, man, you guys are gonna be like all the convicts, and Dog the Bounty Hunter is gonna catch you guys all at the same spot. It's gonna be like when the mob and them they had the meeting in Atlantic City. So you want to catch that bounty.
Listen, here's the thing, man. The you better get on that, James, if you're trying to get that $500 bounty, because for you it's got to be all through the mail, because I know you said you're not going to national this year,
not
and
at
I think
all,
there's
so.
probably going to be at least 6 of the 9 of us in one place at our get together Friday at the trade night hobby hangout thing. So I feel like the smart people are going to. I think there's 1 or 2 guys that live across the pond overseas. So I think probably the smart people are going to ship those out to them first,
Early.
and then try to figure out who's not going to national, get that done, and then go to national and knock out all 6 at the same time. That's how I would imagine people are going to do it.
I'm taking notes. Am I disqualified from that, by the way, or you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
man, you're
Well,
in the
you
you're in the
have a
inside.
copy though.
I don't know.
That's the thing, man. Part of it
How do
is
you get that?
you got to go through Adam, the real 27 guy, basketball card fanatic.
I got you.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll figure it out.
Yeah, man.
Don't be making no bootleg one, man.
I was gonna say he shows up, it's on like a piece of Xerox
Right.
paper. But you know what though, man? Listen, if you actually did a piece of Xerox paper and got those all signed, man, screw it, man. I would still give you. So I put out the bounty of $100, and I just said like you can keep it, but first person to get all 9 signatures, I'll pay $100 to, and then Jeremy Lee upped the ante to 500, but I don't know if Jeremy wants to be able to keep it afterward or
No,
not.
probably not.
Probably not, right? Yeah, but I don't know.
Maybe.
That's
Yeah.
interesting. So now that I got you guys all here, because you guys all collect differently, the one of the notes here I had was riding the hobby wave. So sometimes, especially on IG, like right now, I know Disney's hot on IG. Guys are ripping Disney left and right, right? Well, not guys, there's 2 or 3. But anyways, when you guys see these waves, you know, I know Rob usually says, you know, if you're on the way, it's too late. You know, I mean, you got to be on before the thing. But how do you guys navigate this stuff as far as not getting caught up, or maybe getting caught up in what the newest wave is? And so how do you guys tackle that? James, I'll let you go first, because I know you're the youngest guy here, so we'll go from you know, let the young buck go first. But when you see whatever, you open an IG and Rob's ripping Power Rangers all the time or something like that, like what goes through your head when you see stuff like that?
Well, it's just got to be something I really got to be into. Like for me, it's sports cards. I like some of the off, like non-sports stuff.
Mhm.
Like I got these a few weeks ago.
Ooh,
These aren't for me. Like
Marilyn
I'll
Monroe.
grab stuff.
Marilyn Monroe.
yes.
I grabbed this type of stuff for my old lady. I
Okay.
talked about it on Rob's show, trying to persuade and bring my old lady into the hobby in any way I can. But like, I look for like that stuff, like stuff at shows. I don't really like watch too many breaks or anything like that. It's never been something that's really pertained to me. I don't really have the cash to dump 1,500 on some random team that I'm gonna get no cards back in. You know what I mean? I'll be able to sell for $3 on eBay, then
Yeah.
have to pay for shipping. So
Gotcha. Before Rob, before I get to you, Steve says, he goes, people target new releases and low data markets and pumping nothing against those collectors. Yeah, I hear that. Yeah, I'm not necessarily talking. Yeah, I mean, obviously, we can talk about pumping and stuff like that, but I just mean, when you see these things that may or may not, uh, make you all tingly inside. But what's kind of, like I said, what's your thought process when you see that stuff, Rob?
You know, I just sit back and watch it, because I do truly believe in, I've talked about it in my podcast before that I think that the people that are able to really capitalize on that stuff are the ones that were in on it early. Like I don't know, I can't think of any one person off the top of my head that just seems to capitalize on everything. It's like it's usually like, oh, that guy was in early on Disney. Oh, that guy was in early on Marvel. That guy was in early on Emmanuel Quickly only because he's a Nick fan. No one else was buying Quickly, but now that he's been going off, it's like, so good for you. So and I know that, some people definitely like to pump, some people definitely like to try to manipulate the market and do what they can. But that's stuff that I just kind of like stay clear of. Like I don't even hear about it. You know what I mean? Like so Steve Splenda and I were having a conversation today, and I appreciate Steve so much because he like is feeding me some information, you know what I mean? And I'm not saying I'm buying or believing everything that Steve is showing me, but like I go out of my way to not truly see the negativity or know what's going on in the hobby. Like my I'm not a reporter. My job isn't to know everything that's going on in the hobby, so I do try to avoid the negative stuff. But if I have a couple dudes that I trust, someone like a Steve Splenda, and he's like, yo, this is what I'm seeing, check this out, boom 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 boom, that doesn't mean I'm buying everything that he's sending to me, but I'm at least open-minded to checking it out and being like, damn, I didn't know that. Oh, shoot. Okay, yeah, appreciate you, man. I'm gonna have to check that out, because, I want to be in the know a little bit, but I definitely don't go out looking for it.
Yeah. It's very simple and easy with IG to be one of those guys because it's constantly being thrown out there, the negativity. And either way, either you're getting pumped on one end or then you're being told about the pump on the other. So when you know your lane and what you're about, it's kind of like you almost put the blinders on and you just see what you want to see, but you can easily be influenced one way or the other. But I'll tell you one thing that I found very interesting about the Disney, that's like the hottest thing now. When I was younger and I would take my kids and they were younger, as far as I have two daughters, getting the signatures from the characters. Everybody would have the books that you would buy at the store, and then you get the whole book signed by everybody, Mickey, Minnie, all the characters.
Yeah.
So what the great curator was saying, like, bro, he's like, look at this dope ass card, like it was the one girl from Frozen, Queen Elsa. He said, why wouldn't you want to get this signed by one of the characters, the Elsa character there, and then have, build a collection for your kid of, instead of having the book, you can have the actual cards itself and they'll be signed by the characters. And how dope would that be, as opposed to having that, little book, but then having a nice card collection where you can, steer your kid in that direction that way and get them involved in the hobby. And I thought that was a pretty cool idea, whether or not that's a, next level pump and dump from the great curator. But in my mind, I was like, yo, that's pretty dope because I would love to do that. I'm going down to Disney soon. And that kind of got my wheel spinning. Wow, that's pretty cool, man. That's another way that I can, bond with my daughter and still get her, hooked in the hobby.
Check this out real quick. Just put me on solo screen real quick, Tone.
Real quick.
I bought this last night on eBay. Okay. And I don't think it had anything to do with the Disney trend that's going on, but it might have subliminally been planted in my head. I don't know. But my daughter, she's 3. She's going to be 3 in June. She is on such a Frozen kick right now. I went online and found someone selling these slabs.
Dude.
So these are already purchased. I just went in my purchase history. I just bought them last night. So it's the 6 main Frozen characters in PSA slabs. So this guy, these are from 2013. So this guy was selling groups of 6 of them. He was selling PSA 10s. And for the 10s, he was selling them for $500 or best offer, or $599 or best offer. For the 9s, he was asking like $200. And then I got these. These are PSA 8s, and for the 8s, I made him an offer of $60, and he took it. So
Nice.
for $60, that's cheaper than it is to grade these cards.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So for $60, my daughter's gonna have these to play with. And she already knows Daddy's
awesome.
cards. Like you know what I mean?
Now,
Every
those are
time she
hers.
sees me with cards, she's grabbing them. So now, like, these can get dinged up. She could throw them. I don't care, get scratched. Doesn't matter. Pay $10 a card. They're freshly slabbed too. All of the serial numbers through PSA. You know how they're like in the 70 million now.
Yeah.
It's the first 2 digits are 72. So that means they were probably just graded within the last month.
Yeah.
That's wild. I'll tell you one quick
Yeah.
Disney story. We went to Disney once with my kids, and they were already grown teenagers, man. And I'll never forget. We're standing there because before you get into Disney, you got to buy the tickets and then go into the other thing, right? Dude, there was guys with little babies in their strollers, man. The little girls are dressed in their little princess stuff, and the dad is sweating bullets. He wants to leave. The mom is buying passes for all this stuff, and this dude is like, bro, the last place he wants to be is Disney. And I saw that guy, not him particularly, but that type of guy, over and over and over. And I'm like, bro, I'm so glad that our kids, they knew what a line was. They're grown, they're teenagers. I'm like, I would never come here with a 2 or 3 year old, bro. It's not the happiest place on earth for everyone. Like, bro, that is, yeah. So James, if you ever,
you had that, but then like there's people like, I loved it. I've been taking my kids, my daughter, she's 24 and she's going every year. She was, alive.
Really?
And
Wow.
yeah, so she loves it. My other daughter loves it. So yeah, bro, it gets hot as hell. If anything, my wife is that way. I'm the one that's running around like a little kid, like, oh man, let's go do this, let's do this. And my wife is like, it's freaking 110 degrees. She's pissed. She's moody. She wants to, she's like, you know what? From now on, she went and got one of those little those little scooters, those motorized scooters. She just turned like 40, so she's
like,
the
bro,
one.
she's not even. She's like,
ones for the elderly.
Yeah, she's not even.
Look, she disappeared for like 40 minutes, came back on a damn scooter, bro. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. And she's like, you're talking crap now. Later on, you're gonna be want to ride in this thing. I was like, get away from me. I don't even want to see you. Don't be in my presence if you're gonna be riding that scooter around.
Wow, that's wild.
She's over the top. But there was a comment here by Hail Mary. He said those autos are signed by whoever's in that outfit, so he doesn't get it. That character at that time.
That's
I agreed. Yeah, but the point is, if you go down with the book, everybody's buying books and getting those characters to sign anyway. It's more so a memory that you're getting for your kid, as opposed to the actual these are cartoons. Who are you going to get to sign? The illustrator. So obviously, if Mickey and Minnie are sitting there, you just, for the experience of the kid, they don't know that's not the real Minnie and Mickey, but the fact that they go up to them and you get a card signed, that's the memory that you'll have forever, and they'll appreciate that when they're older.
Yeah, listen, Hail Mary wants the real Chippendale, like the actual chipmunks, man, to be signing his cards. But so Mr. Baseball Card Collector asks, who do I need to pay to get on this stream sometime? So here's the deal. Here's a one-time only deal for Mr. Baseball Collector. If you go to the top of the chat, the link is right up there, and you can click in because and please do if you want. Mr. Baseball Collector, he's a pro, man. Cheap plug. He may or may not be on the pod on Monday.
Let's go.
Yeah, but
let's go.
Yeah,
do I need to bust out my my mantle?
Yeah.
You might have to bust
he might have to do it too.
Yeah, he might have to. So, and real quick, so like I said, man, this is the goal of this show, man. Like, this is what we're looking, man. The chat is banging. We got good conversation. So we definitely appreciate everybody jumping in with us. What else do we got here? Oh, so Oz is on this crusade to make base cards great again. He's been
I love
posting
it.
on IG,
I saw
and
that.
yo, and this is what I told him the other day. I was like, this is why I said I'll never understand this hobby. You got guys posting flawless patches, all this stuff, and this guy posts like a random Larry Bird, and the thing just goes bananas. Like,
Dude, I haven't gotten likes like that in a long time. But yeah, that was insane. But dude, that's the hobby, man. Getting back to the base cards, that's the beginning. That's where it all started. And I have a ton of base slabs. We talk about the junk slab that you were just talking about, Rob. I have a ton of those. I have a
Yeah.
lot of ones that are worth a lot of money, but then I have a lot that are worth about $20. Not even the amount that it costs to get graded by PSA. But it's cool. I look at those cards that Larry Bird. I was like, man, this takes me back to my childhood. Those were the cards that I was collecting. When I was a teenager.
Oh yeah, I'm looking at it right now. I'm looking at the
Yeah.
Larry Bird that you
the
posted
Larry
up,
Bird.
man.
Yeah,
That was a
that's
10, right, Oz?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a 10.
You know how much that goes for, like, raw, roughly?
Raw, probably like $5, maybe a
Not
buck.
even.
Yeah.
You could probably get that. Yeah, you could probably
50
find
cent.
that exactly $3 to $5 and free
yeah.
shipping because they'll just send it
Mhm.
in an envelope or
Yeah.
Comp
something
C,
like that.
Comp C. I think I got that from Comp C. Slabbed up.
Wow.
There's a
Hey,
potential place to make money possibly still there, right?
Oh
With
yeah.
grading fees.
I mean, right now, see those.
The chances of getting a 10 on something like
Yeah,
that,
very
though,
hard, especially from that era.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine buying a 1990 Fleer and being able to get a PSA 10.
It'd be tough right now. The way the PSA is operating.
Mhm.
I mean, you probably get like a 6 or a 7, even if the card looks great.
Yeah.
I
And
don't
that's the
trust
thing.
grading at all, man.
Yeah. So when I came back in, I was like, listen, I know this is junk wax. I get it. I got it. But I still want it. So if I'm gonna go get it, I'm gonna get it at a good price, but make sure they're PSA 10s. So I could say, listen, yeah, this card, everybody has it, blah, blah, blah. But it's a PSA 10, and here's the pop count. And I put the pop counts on there. I posted a Sean Kemp where I think the pop
I
count on
saw
his
that.
PSA 10 was 2295. So 2,295, gem mint 10s for the Sean Kemp.
Yeah,
Gee.
do you still have that Charles Barkley rookie auto?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a
Interesting.
banger. Well, he looks for that. Oh, there it is. Let me put so
Oh man, yeah, that's
yeah.
Yeah, so that's the Gem Mint 10
yeah, that's nice, man.
right on the 86 Flair.
See,
So
speaking
yeah,
of riding waves, Oz was on that early about the rookie card.
Rob, I just see you're looking in your background. You got the Julius Erving, you got the Gretzky,
Yep.
which I think is
Yeah.
dope.
It's dope. Hey, real quick, let me circle back. So Hail Mary was talking about not so much the getting the sign at the park. He's talking about who's signing the pack pulled autos. So
Yeah.
it's like I don't know. Maybe it's
Joe Schmo.
yeah, somebody who's the guy who like wants to get some overtime and just they need somebody to start.
They might be the actual illustrators themselves or people that are in
Yeah.
Disney that would know when it comes to animation.
Oh yeah. The pack pulled autos, I'm sure, are signed by someone that has some sort of standing.
Yeah, that's similar to the Stranger Things cards. The guy that came out, Butcher Billy. These cards that came out. So he has a ton of pack pulled signatures of his cards. So he signed actual cards itself that are worth a lot of money.
Hey, where's your boy at, man? I'm waiting.
Oh yeah, well he said he's watching TV with the wife, so maybe next time. So he must have us on the he must
okay.
have us on the side. But yeah, like I said, his whole thing with vintage is he's actually had a different take. Big vintage guy. So like I said, I want to spoil it, but it's another one of those episodes, man, where we learn all the time. Oz actually mentions it in the episode, man. We learn a lot from those interviews. We try to dig around, but all that like eventually in the conversation, we learn something new from every guest that we didn't.
We're learning by osmosis, just by being around all that knowledge and these people that have been in the hobby for over 40 years, particularly baseball collector. He's been around a long time, so he's seen everything, done it all, seen it all, and it's like all we want to do is continue to pick these guys' brains, have them on, and being around guys like Rob and Ken and just everybody, the Wolfpack in general, all these guys, you're either setting up at shows, you're just a collector, whatever you want, but whatever experience that you have, we're just trying to soak it all in, and become, hobby masters as we go on. And the main thing, like a lot of these guys, what they preach is like, listen, it's not a sprint. So James, you talk about, I can't afford this, I can't afford that. That's okay. Do know your lane, do what you can do to the best of your ability, and you just slowly move up. When Rob and I got into doing this, we both started out on Facebook groups, just buying a ton of junk wax. We just had a bunch of cars. We were just buying everything that we knew that we liked when we were growing up. So it's like, oh man, it's cool, and then not even thinking about grading and all that. And then but as you move up, then here's Rob going for $100,000 LeBron James card. And my freaking collection's just it's not $100,000 LeBron James, but I think I have $100,000 worth of crap back here. If I put it all together.
You're the
So
Fred Stanford of the hobby.
yeah. But yeah, dude, but just do you, man. You know what I mean? Don't ever like feel like, oh, I can't do that. Like I see these guys on Instagram flossing and stuff like that. But a lot of these guys been collecting for so long, over 40 years, that it finally came around to, where 10 years ago it wasn't really worth much. And now it's $1 million collection just because, so it's like, dude, just you're young yet and just build it.
Yeah, keep stacking, man. I don't know. I've been having fun with it. I've heavily been back, like I'd say for 2 years. I kind of got into it on Rob's show. Like when I collected when I was younger, I had no idea about even numbered cards, parallels, any of that crap, right? So when I really got back into it, it was just seeing it on TikTok. My old lady scrolling through TikTok. She's like, look, people are selling cards. I was like, hey, that's a way to pay for diapers. That's a way to pay for formula, right? Right? So I run up to the garage, I grab my cards, flicking through stuff. I got a KD rookie. Nothing expensive. It was the orange tops there. It was nothing special. Backs beat up a little bit. So I got $100 for it at the time of the hobby hype. Had a bunch of old Pokemon cards from when I was knee high, when you guys are probably in your prime stages, partying, doing all
Hey,
that.
we're
good
still in
stuff.
our prime. This is
Yeah,
my
no,
prime now.
sold a bunch of those too, man, and that like gave me at first a feel of like the market, and like I'm slow into like wanting to dip my feet into the pool always. Like I want to test the waters before I really take that deep dive.
Yeah,
So
that's the way to go
I
about
was
it.
just checking percentages. I watched for like probably a good 6 months all these cards that I had. I watch them go up, watch them go down, watch KD have good games. The Pokemon kind of it plateaus, it goes up and down. It's got its high part of the years, but just getting rid of a bunch of it and just collecting cards that I like, man. Like all that stuff that you guys grew up with in the 90s. Like I love that stuff. Like, and the fact that I can get it for $20-$30 is even better. And if I can go to a show and come home with 6 cards, and then my boy's next to me, and yeah, he got a banger, but he's only got 1 card. I got these to come home and fill up and put in my case. So that's the part I enjoy of it. So I'm definitely taking it slow and enjoying it.
And that's kind of like what Oz is saying, man. That's the way to do it. You wanna dip your toe in with anything. You don't want to just jump in, because I could think of 10 different people I know that are no longer in the hobby, because when the hobby boom happened at the beginning of the pandemic, they dropped some serious money. There were people that I was really close with, and it's been documented on podcasts, guys that have lost, 20 to 40K on multiple cards, and now they're nowhere to be seen anymore, because I wouldn't want to be in an industry either if I lost that much money. So it's like, it pays to just kind of work your way up little by little.
Yeah. Yeah, that Big John says, the level up is a journey. You just got to go at your own pace.
Absolutely.
And Hail Mary says, Dustin Sports Car Dad just put out a video about pace yourself, marathon, not a sprint. That's so true, man. Like I'm like I always say, I said I'm happy I got in towards the end of the boom, because I know I would have been real. I mean, dude, there was serious mistakes were being made, and guys are down bad, man. Like real bad. Like it's,
Yeah, the the amount of pump and dump that was going on during the hype, it was unprecedented levels. Like it's calmed down a lot. Like there's some out there that are doing it, but it's like you're so hip to the game now, you can almost like see right through it. So you're either gonna be on board or you're not. But at that time, it didn't matter what the hell you were buying. If you bought it today on Monday, by Friday, it already had doubled in value. And it didn't matter what it was. Any kind of genre out there, whether it was sport, non-sport, it was fair game, and everybody was just making money hand over fist. And it's like, if you couldn't make money in those days, then you really didn't need to be in this hobby. So it was real easy to get caught up in that FOMO and spend a ton of money, not realizing that, oh my God, 6 months from now, this thing's going to crash. And, my collection now is in my mind worth $500,000 is now worth 50,000, if you're lucky. And you're like, holy crap.
Yeah, for sure. This Brendan Ryan says, this is a perception-driven hobby. A car with collective appreciation can soar or drop depending on what the hobby wagons are circling at any moment. Yeah, I mean, it's
facts.
But the thing is, like, at the end of the day, bro, like we always said, if you're buying what you like, you can kind of just ride it out, man, and just be cool with it. So speaking of that, as we come down the home stretch here, we do a little thing here at the end, card of the week. And I know you guys have jumped on. If you don't have a card with you, it's all good. But we like to just flash something up that we kind of are feeling this week. So you guys have anything there handy, Rob or James? Anything card wise you can grab? You want to talk about something? James, go ahead. I'll let you kick it off.
Go
bro.
back to base cards for Oz.
Yeah, man. Yo, that is.
I posted this a while ago, man.
I love that
Stadium
Club card.
card.
I don't know the exact count for like PSA, but I know this count for this. There's only one pristine, one pristine 10. There's 32 normal and 10s or whatever you would consider it. You know what I mean? And there's 33 9.5s. And when I just got that graded, like probably 4 or 5 months ago, I think it was reselling for like $20, but that's the talk we had. Like, these cards are only $5. So before I graded it, I really gave it a good scope of looking at 10s online. And I know you're not really supposed to do that, but like, I just gave my best idea of like, all right, I can see this much of a shoe on this side. You see this much of a crowd on this side. So I went off that and I got the 9.5, which now they're selling. It was selling for like $45 probably a few months ago, but now it's like a little over $100. So if I wanted to dump it, I could, but that's the first card I graded. I can't let it go.
Yeah, that's and what that's 94, I think that is, right?
92, 93.
92, 93. That's Jordan dunking or not
over Ewing.
Yeah, or attempting to dunk over Ewing. That is actually one of the first cards that I bought when I first got back into the There's a members only one that's the more limited one, but I just got the base, like a gem. It's a 10.
Yeah,
that
still got that, right?
I still have it because it's one of the cards that I just like that. When I first got back in it, I bought that card, and it's such a it's a beautiful card. Like, it's crazy. It's Jordan, and
dude, those 90s cards, what makes them so special is the poses, the shots that these guys got. You know what I mean? Like dude, just him just floating in the air. You see Patrick Ewing, of course, New York Knicks, getting their asses busted once again.
Oh man, here we go.
What I'm just saying, Mike owned them, bro. See, there you go, getting all sensitive.
But that's from that Stadium Club though, where like the photography was
yeah.
Like,
Stadium Club was head and shoulders above everybody else, bro.
Yeah. But, go ahead, Rob. You have the floor, sir. What do you got handy there?
Listen, I'm gonna cheat, okay? So I'm sorry, man. I have 3 cards. I'm gonna try to make it quick, okay? If anyone listened to my podcast earlier this week, I talked about the Eli Manning 2004 Topps Chrome X Fractor out of 279. This kid slid into my DM, said a 279, and he said, this was about 2 weeks ago. He's like, hey, if I got this card, would you be interested in it? I said, yeah. At what price? And so he said $325. And I said, yeah, if you get it in and there's no issues with it, I would take it. So he goes, okay, good. So then I totally forgot about it. About 5 days later, he's like, hey, are you still interested in that card? I said, yeah. So then about 3 more days goes by. So now we're on like week 2, and he sends me like 3 pictures of him holding it. And he goes, I'm going to need $325 net or this thing's going to PSA. And in my head, I'm like, we already agreed on $325, so that's fine. But it felt like he was giving me an ultimatum, and like almost like, first of all, we never said deal, we never did the emoji handshake, nothing like that. Anyways, long story short, I go, dude, send it to PSA. And he goes, so you backing out? Like almost like now he's trying to like use some some verbiage that is frowned upon in the hobby. No one likes anyone that backs out of a deal, right?
Yeah.
I go, I'm not backing out of anything. We never said deal, and I don't like the way that you're sliding into my DMs with these ultimatums. So I told you, you gave me a choice. I told you send it to PSA. So anyways, within like 3 days, someone tagged me on Instagram, and these are only at a 279, and this came up. So
Ooh.
yep, BGS 8 at a 279. So I got it, man. I feel really good about it. I feel like I might hit the brakes on my Eli purchasing. I've
How many cards you got of Eli, bro?
Well, I mean, there's levels to it. So like, Eli cards like $100 or more, or just
How
like
many
random
Eli,
base?
how many Eli cards? Just period. I don't care if they're slabbed or what the prices are. How many Eli cards?
Probably like 300 or 400. Yeah, 300 or 400.
So in other words, you're the Eli guy,
I guess so.
as Craig would say.
Yeah, you're an Eli guy now. Yeah. So the next card I want to show off is actually one that's right behind me. So I don't know how this came about, but I ended up going down one of these like internet rabbit holes a couple days ago, and something popped up, and somehow it led me to the Wikipedia page of the 1974 fight between Muhammad Ali and George Foreman, the Rumble in the Jungle. And I started reading up about this, and before you know it, I'm watching the highlights on YouTube, and I'm like, oh my God. Then I found out there was a documentary called When We Were Kings. It came out in 1996. I think Spike Lee directed it. I know Spike Lee was in it. I'm assuming he directed it, and they just talked about what an absolute event this was. Don King, blah, blah, blah. No one gave Ali a chance. He was a 4-1 underdog. He was 32 years old. Foreman was 25. Foreman was a force. This guy was, I'm not going to say he was like Brock Lesnar, but damn, this guy was a monster. He was knocking out guys that had already beat Ali, so no one gave Ali a chance. And this is like the fight where he invented the rope-a-dope and ended up, and George Foreman just punched himself out, because he just gave Ali like 400 body shots over the course of like 6 rounds and completely exhausted himself. And Ali didn't do anything except for, except for that. So this card I want to show off, and this is the Cassius Clay. Look at the green screen. Look at the effect he's putting on it.
Yeah,
that looks real cool.
Yeah, that looks cool. Like that. It looks like a die cut.
Yeah, it does. So this is the Cassius Clay rookie. Actually, this is the 1960 Hemit's Journal. There wasn't another card put out by him because he was 18 years old when this came out. So there wasn't an American card put out by him until 6 years later. So this is a Hemit's Journal. The back of it is in German. German writing, and so this is when he was 18 years old. So this is an incredible, iconic rookie card. Brendan Ryan said Ali turned him into human hamburger, and so the last one I want, and let me just say, when Foreman went down,
he went down in a heap.
There's an image, and it literally looks like a massive tree just like going like this, and I just got the chills, man. Ali was just such a character, man. So iconic.
Rob, just so everybody knows, When We Were Kings was actually directed by Leon Gast, Gast.
Okay, Leon Gast. Okay, and so Spike Lee was just
in there talking.
He was just in there. Okay, I appreciate that. Yeah, thank you. I feel like if Spike Lee directed it, he probably would have been like more on the title or something.
Yeah, Spike Lee joint.
Spike Lee, exactly. Thank you. And then the last one I want to talk about is this card that I just picked up. I haven't even posted it yet because I bought a companion piece to go with this. So I'm going to try to keep the 60 seconds or less. So there was a guy named Uncle Jimmy. He was from New Jersey. He's passed away now. And over the course of Uncle Jimmy's life, he collected and sent out through the mail and had connections and like in person and had like over like had like 2,000 or so hand signed vintage autographs, and a lot of them were actually written on it to Uncle Jimmy and stuff like that. You know, he had no kids, he didn't own a car, he owned a small home, he walked to work every day, came home to his little house. That was it. When he passed away, he gave his entire collection to like his grandchildren and stuff, and slowly they started piecing it out. And PSA actually recognizes it now as an Uncle Jimmy collection card. So I actually got an Uncle Jimmy card, and if you look on there, it says Uncle Jimmy collection. And let me tell you something.
wow.
Because this is a 1933 Gaudi, which is arguably the greatest baseball set of all time. And what makes this cool is, first of all, that autograph looks incredible, considering this autograph is 90 years old. Right, this card is 90 years old. I can't say how old the autograph is, but the card is 90 years old. And what's cool about this is this guy Jack Quinn, he is just one of the few players to have a card in the 1933 Gaudi set and also the 1909 T206 set. So I actually have a Jack Quinn T206 card in the mail on the way. I'm going to put them right next to each other.
Nice.
Post it up on Instagram, and now I have an official Uncle Jimmy card, man. Like, I feel like I've arrived in this vintage space because of the Uncle Jimmy aspect to it.
Wow.
And I definitely overpaid for it because it's an Uncle Jimmy card.
That's okay.
But look up on eBay, type in Uncle Jimmy collection. There's only a single thing that comes up, and it's like a newspaper clipping of Ted Williams that Uncle Jimmy got signed, and they want like $1,000 for it. So like Uncle Jimmy cards just never come up. You have to know someone.
Yeah.
And even when you do know someone, usually they're never moving them. So I actually know, I've been able to meet some people, and I overpaid for it, and I didn't want to, but I did.
Hey,
That's
but check it
dope.
out. Find Your Trove. I don't know if you follow him on IG.
Oh yeah.
He had that Uncle Jimmy story on there, which is pretty
Oh,
cool.
I know.
That's
And
how I
you know
know
what?
about him.
Yeah. And also Adam Gray, the Real 27 guy, he did a Uncle Jimmy short as well. So Uncle Jimmy, this guy's iconic. Like, you could look him up. I think Sports Illustrated did an article on like, this was after he passed away, you know what I mean? But all these cards really became iconic, you know. So to own an Uncle Jimmy card, it means everything, man. It's right up there with having like a Mickey Mantle rookie for me.
That's dope. That's dope.
Yeah, thank you.
That's awesome. So I'll go real quick. This actually I picked up, Rob, when I was with the show with you.
In Philly? Oh.
Up in Jersey. Yeah, and this is a big boy card. Literally 1964 Topps Giant Clemente. But funny story with this though is it's pretty bad, man. It's
That's
pretty nice.
beautiful.
6. Rob, I picked this up from the dude that was on the Sopranos.
Oh, you got that from him?
Yeah. So the guy set up. He was in the Sopranos, in the John Dillinger movie and stuff like that. But what I like about this card is actually not the front; it's the back. It's like a newspaper type thing.
Yeah.
So I would actually rather display it like this. That's how I actually have it on my desk. I display it like that.
Wow.
So yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, it's nothing too crazy. This was $100 card, but it's just, I don't know. I saw the centering; it was pretty cool, and now it just sits on my desk. And it's just one of those things that,
dude,
like I said,
I love your Clemente. I don't want to say obsession, but I love your love of Clemente, man.
Yeah, it's
seriously.
And it didn't start out like that, man. It was just kind of something that we were out at a show, and the first Philly show, Oz points out to me, goes, "Yo, look, that's the Clemente rookie card." I was like, "Oh wow!" And then for some reason, I was just like, you know what? That's gonna be where I kind of just everybody talks about find your lane, and I was like, you know what? That's what it is, and yeah, it's pretty cool, man. Like, and I keep plugging away at it, and I'll finish it soon enough. But
and I know you and Oz have talked before about how how he was thinking about collecting Clemente too, right? But he said, you know what, I don't think I want to step on Tony's toes. Like, I got AI and everything, so
Yeah.
I'm good. I got,
Yeah.
I got my other lanes and stuff. But it's crazy, man. Like when participation is required type stuff, like, and it doesn't matter. I mean, participation is required could be scrolling on Instagram, but it's like the crazy thing about cards is you you might not ever have known a card existed, but when you see that card, it just does something to us. It
Yeah.
does something to our mind, body, and soul. And it's like, I need that card. I truly, truly need that card. And I think just like anything in life, we need things to work toward, to keep us motivated and to keep us going. And so I totally can identify with you seeing the Clemente rookie. Yeah, even if it was a last year Clemente or a
Yeah.
year Clemente, it doesn't
Right.
matter. If you see that and you're
Yeah.
like, oh my God, it just hits you in the feels, that's how you
Yeah.
know.
That's exactly what happened. And Oz, before I kick it to you for your card, just wanted to get some of these comments. Mookie says Uncle Jimmy collection is iconic, legit card, Rob. Only
Thank
greatness
you.
comes out of New Jersey. I don't know about greatness, but those jug handles are kind of weird in Jersey, but supposedly they
Listen,
don't
the
get
smell driving in New Jersey. Let me just say this, okay? And it's always right passing MetLife Stadium. Like I feel
oh,
like
it's all that stank coming out of the Giant Stadium. That's what it is.
listen, man. So every time I leave a Giants game, we have to roll up the windows, and usually it's really warm out too. Unfortunately, we have to roll up the windows, and then as Ken and I were driving down to Jersey or to the Philly show, we're literally passing MetLife Stadium, and I go, "What's that smell?" I thought that he blew up the car or something like that. He looks at me, he goes, "It's New Jersey." And I go, you know what? You're right. It is.
That's messed up, man.
I know.
That's
No,
wild.
it's not all it's
Yeah,
not all Jersey, man. I have so much love for Jersey. So
that's great.
forgive me. I do have so much love for Jersey,
Right.
Tri-State.
That's funny. So real quick, Steve says Tony after them Clemente's like I'm after them KDs. Yeah, man. Steve is all in on Kevin Durant, man.
Mhm.
Wait, hold
Yeah.
on. Kevin Durant. I thought he was talking about Kirk Douglas.
Yeah.
He
He
might
might
be
not even know who
collecting.
Kirk Douglas is, bro.
Nah. Steve's an international player, bro. He
Yeah.
knows a little bit about everything, man. Brendan Ryan says I can't name any humanitarians among modern players like the great Roberto Clemente. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's guys out there doing stuff, but I don't know that there's. We always say I don't know that there's many guys today that would jump on a plane on New Year's Eve, uh, and go to take some relief supplies. I'm not sure how many athletes today would do that, but maybe. But Mookie, so I picked this up at the what's that? The Garden State Trade Show. Is that what it's called, Rob? I don't
Garden
want to.
State Trade Show. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
this
Garden State.
caucus.
Yeah, up in Secaucus, the last one. The one that they had. So yeah, I picked that up there and big part of the collection now. So, but without further ado, I'll give the floor to the people's mailman who's about to blow up the chat with
All right,
his
we're gonna
card
need
of
a
the week.
drum roll, please, for this, John.
He's
All
been
right.
hyping this thing up, so this better
This,
be a
this,
banger.
this. If anybody has been paying attention to Cousin Oz and his journey with my Ken Carl, Allen Iverson,
You
one
got it.
submitted to PSA.
Oh, Elizabeth.
We have the box right here.
Oh, let's go.
So let us see if Oz got it slabbed up, authenticated, auto, or sent back. Because
Dude, the
I
best
screwed
says
up.
do not
You
hold it
didn't check.
outside.
You didn't check.
Dude, I'm opening this up as we speak, dog.
Live and direct. By the way, as Oz opens that up, yeah, there you go. Go ahead.
Dude, this is beautiful. This is the most gorgeous thing I've ever seen in my life. All right, so first things first, shout out to PSA. They came through for your boy, and this was quick. Honestly, bro, I've been having this box since last Thursday. Actually, last Friday it came in. I haven't opened it up. I
Wow.
was saving it for this joint
That
right
was
here.
quick.
Wow.
All right, check it out.
Oh, that looks sweet. Now all
Nice.
slabbed up.
So it just says card because it's a
Right.
you know what I mean? So authentic auto. I didn't get it graded because it's a little light on, a little bit, but
Yeah.
here you can't really tell. But just this artwork by Ken Carl, I wanted to get this slabbed up. The one of one Allen Iverson is just a beauty. He has the auto right there on his headband, right by his cornrows, and now it's in a PSA slab. This is the back of it. One of one Allen
That
Iverson.
could not have been autographed in a better place.
Bro,
Mm.
he asked me where do you want to sign it. I was thinking right by his shoulder. He's like, nah, I got you, dog. And put it right there on that headband.
Yeah, I
That
know
is
it's best.
fire. That is
Dude,
fire.
this is gorgeous, dog.
Oh my
Nice.
god. Dude, that card is priceless.
Bro, you don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. That
I'm
is
about to get
awesome.
teary.
That is awesome. Hey, one thing I want to say too, like when Rob, you said about stepping on my toes with the Clemente stuff. Like if he started collecting it now, I wouldn't even feel like that type of way. I would actually like be nice to share that with someone.
Encourage
like,
it.
Yeah. Like, I'm like, hey, look at this or look at that. Like, like he gets mad if I get an Iverson card. I wouldn't get mad if he got a Clemente card.
And only when you got that dope as the Dunkin' Go Nuts.
Yeah.
Gentleman 10, because that was one thing that was on my list to get. Rob, I don't know if you're familiar with this. I'm pretty sure the inserts.
Of course I am.
Yeah, the Dunkin' Go Nuts, and they're the acetate cars. And obviously, when you get a good one, they don't turn yellow. It's the clear. And Tony has a pristine copy PSA 10, and I seen that, and he's like, "Bro, you got to see." So I'm thinking it's a Clemente card, and he busts out this Allen Iverson Dunkin' Go Nuts. I'm like, my heart just like, I was like, "Bro, you're killing me, dog."
You were hating.
I actually, before we got on today, I want to build that set, but the ones on eBay, some of them are tough to tell if they're yellowed or not. People are
Yeah, you
kind
gotta
of
have them put them on like a different. type
yeah.
of
I have to have that in hand, something like that. But Mookie says PSA should have put the Cousin Oz collection on the.
I should have had that.
Instead of Uncle
Yeah.
Jimmy collection.
That'd be cool if you could. Can you have
Yeah.
them?
I mean,
Really?
I think you have to be
Of status?
somewhat significant in the hobby before you get a title.
So
You're
Oz, there
significant.
you go, Cousin
You're the
Oz.
people's mailman in the
That's true.
hobby.
I
How
am
many?
the people's mailman. There's only one out there, bro. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
Listen, I ain't resubmitting shit back to PSA when it comes to this card. It's in the slab. I'm good.
That's great. All right, fellas. So before we wrap up, like I said, now that Rob's here, I said we got a trade night is official. Friday night of the National. It's on like Donkey Kong. We got the spot. We got the DJ. We got the bar. We got tables. That's all set up now. Dude, I'm telling you, the show, the National's a national, but that has overtaken everything about the National to me. Like it's all about Friday night between 6 and 9 for me. I could care less right now about the National, the rest of it. But Rob, how you feeling, brother? Listen, before you answer, if I would have told you, like your journey and you're doing this and you're loving it, blah, 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 all that stuff, that's great. But DJ Rob is back.
Listen,
Yeah.
man, I can't wait. I'm psyched. And to be doing it with, the Wolf Pack, and that's what makes it special. Like, if it was just something that I was able to make a couple calls and it was just something I was doing and I was kind of like a lone wolf in this without a wolf pack, man, like, not even my wife would care about it. She'd be like, cool, have fun. It's like,
Yeah.
but you guys, literally are sharing the excitement and you guys feel the same excitement that I feel. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's huge, man.
And the best part is that it just wasn't as easy as just making a couple calls and
Dude.
putting the money down. We've been working hard to get this done. At first, we thought it was a no-go. The National was like, nah, we
Multiple
can't.
times we thought it was a no-go.
Yeah, we can't sponsor that. Sorry, guys. So it was like, well, we got to figure out something else. So for this to go down the way it has, it's just going to be so special. We can't wait.
Yeah.
So Steve says the DJ better play a slow dance song for me and Rob. So if you ever seen Police Academy when they go to the Blue Oyster, got you.
Yo, let me tell you, this is what I love about Cousins, man, and is the fact that you guys always come with some great 80s references. Like, yo, your
See?
80s references are always on
Yeah,
point, man.
Bro,
bro.
that's our wheelhouse, dog.
Yeah,
That's
bro.
what
See,
you want to talk about prime? Whoo, the 80s was prime. Whoo, baby.
see,
Man.
look, Steve likes it, bro. The Blue Oyster, man.
Oyster.
See,
Yeah,
it's
see,
like those
Steve
are the
knows.
things that you
Steve is,
gotta know, man.
Steve is a young old soul.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Listen, James, man, I have a feeling you're gonna figure a way to get out there. I got a feeling, man, you're gonna figure out a way to get out there,
I would
man.
love to, man. Like I said, I think I told you before, we're looking at trying to buy a house in the next few months. So
No, yeah, you
right
got
now, everything else is back burning, bro.
yeah, no, you
Unfortunately.
gotta handle that for sure. Listen,
Yeah.
responsibilities, family, and I think
I told
I
you
think
though, you
when
let me know. You go to the bar, I got a beer for each one of you boys. So just
Nice.
let
I
me know.
Appreciate it.
It's
absolutely.
Appreciate
real
it.
easy to cash app.
You know what? Screw that. We're gonna start a GoFundMe for my boy James to get him to the national.
Right?
Let's get it.
Hashtag get James to the national.
Yeah.
That's funny. But yeah, man. So
How
fellas,
you guys feeling?
Truly
How you
can.
guys feeling real quick? How are you feeling about the trade night, about the hobby hangout, everything, man? I mean, just some of the names that have reached out and responded,
Dude.
you know what I mean?
Dude, every time you sent, we got the DMs, the Wolfpack DMs, and then Robbie like, yo, this person just reached out to me about the trade night, and I'm like, oh my god, it just keeps like in my mind, I'm like, dude, this is gonna be bigger than a national. You know, what I mean? Like it's gonna everybody and their mom's gonna be there. I know it's not gonna be that way, but it's like it feels to me like I'm so hyped and so pumped, like everybody and their mom's gonna want to be there, and it only makes sense. It's Friday night, it's right after the show. You come right over. There's going to be huge names, not just big names, huge names in the hobby there. I mean, we already got Rob. You know what I mean? That's all we need. We got the Rob, we got the cousin, but now it's going to be like, take that and multiply it by times 100 by the people that are going to be showing up. Special VIP. You know what I mean? If you want to get your drink on, you can go ahead. The bar's going to be right outside. You can go ahead and do that. You can chit chat outside in the lobby. If you do want to get in, I highly, highly, highly suggest getting there early because, dude, it's gonna get crazy.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
gonna fill up quick.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the hotel that's hosting it, I mean, people are staying there from the national, and it's no exaggeration. I mean, we try to even get a bigger space because we
Yeah.
anticipate, we kind of know how it's going to be, and whatever, man. Hey, if the fire marshal shows up, then we know we threw a banger. That's the way I look at it.
There you go.
Absolutely. Listen, this is gonna be the event people are
Yeah.
talking about. There's gonna be no other night that people are talking about the way they're talking about this.
Yeah,
Because it's going to be spilled out into the lobby. It's going to be spilled out into the sidewalk. The music you're going to be able to hear throughout the building. You know what I mean? Like,
Gonna be deals everywhere.
yeah. It's kind of like, and that was the goal, man, to make it. Most trade nights are set up tables and guys trade and whatever. I was like, nah, man, we got to do a little something more than that. Put a little flavor on it. Put some music in there. Let's get, the bar. That's awesome, man. If you want to have a little drink, maybe that'll loosen you up. I know that last time there was drinks involved, I almost got taken to the cleaners for a Roberto Clemente rookie. So, Hail Mary, nah, there's no back door, but just hit me up in the DMs and we'll get you up
Yeah,
in
yeah.
there.
We'll slide you right in the way you
Yeah.
slid into our DMs, baby. We got you.
Yeah, don't worry about that. But yeah, I mean, to echo Oz's sentiments, man, I'm super excited about it. Like I said, I mean, for me, that's like priority number one. The cards have kind of now taken a back seat to the point where I
I
told
agree.
Oz, I was like, yeah, I was like, you know what? We were talking about getting the VIP passes. I was like, I don't even care about getting in early. I'll just get there when we get there. Like, there's no whatever. Like, it's cool.
But the best part is, Rob, you talk about all the time, speaking it into existence, putting it out there in the universe. And after our first national, when Tony and I went and we were able to talk on stage, we're like, bro, how are we gonna top that one? Tony's like, bro, we're gonna throw a trade night. And this was literally right after the first one. And I laughed and I said, you know what? Yeah, we are. Let's do it. Let's think of it. And then we just, it was on the back burner since the last national. And then we got on board with Rob, the Wolf Pack, and dude, it's just snowballed into this. And it's crazy how when you put things out there, like you said, into the universe, speak it into existence. Things will happen, bro. James, things will happen, dog. Like I said, we're gonna get you there somehow, some way. James is gonna be chilling with us. We're gonna be buying you a beer, dog.
Bring a laptop up. We'll do this. We'll do a stream.
There you go. There you go. But fellas, man, truly appreciate you guys joining us to chat as always. Love you guys being part of the show. It's always fun to see the comments over there. But before we leave, James, anything you want to say before we get out of here?
I just appreciate you guys as always, man. I blow you guys up all the time saying it, but without you guys sharing education, just like the rookie card episode you just had this past week, Rob, all the stuff you guys always share, it's just more people need to get out there and listen to the podcast. I just keep sharing it, man. Keep sharing these guys' stuff. Spread the word.
Appreciate
Yeah,
that.
it's appreciated, Mr. Lou.
Yeah, Rob, now going, man.
There it is. Brendan says, love what you guys bring to the hobby. Great show. Appreciate you, Brendan.
Brendan, much love, man.
Yeah.
Yo,
Rob,
Tone,
what you got, brother?
Tone, real quick, when you do the
Oh.
cuts for this, you gotta make
Yeah.
sure you got that dance.
Oh,
That
yeah.
Ray Lewis
Oh, Lord.
You're gonna blow up
You
IG.
got-
You're gonna break the internet, dog.
It's a seizure, yeah, right?
Go ahead, Rob. What do you got, man?
Cousins, just keep doing your thing, man. I love it.
Appreciate it, brother. Before I kick it to the mailman, like I said, appreciate you guys. Check out Monday's show. Super excited about that one. Real easy guy to talk to. Educational, fun, a little bit of everything. So just a cheap plug for the cousins. Check out Rob's show. Check out the Wolf Pack. Check out James on IG. Check out Steve Splenda doing push-ups in the middle of the street. Check it all out, bro. Oz, what you got, brother?
Dude, I just want to say I ain't gonna be sleeping with this puppy tonight. Number one, my Allen Iverson slabbed up. And number two, we're gonna end this like we always do, and that's keep focused, keep positive, and keep collecting. Hey, yo, Tone, bring the beat back.
Wow, that is you. You are just fantastic, sir. Adios.